Hey everybody, today we're going to do crab cakes made with canned crab. We've never tried this before, so I wanted to give it a shot, and I needed to do it with canned crab because it's just easier to find in my grocery store. The recipe calls for 12 ounces of crab meat, which is 2 6-ounce cans of white or lump crab meat. We're going to do 3. I wanted to show you a picture of what it looks like. This is the can that it comes in. Okay. That's the can we're going to use 3 of those cans. We went ahead and drained it. So let's get that in our mixing bowl. So we're not doubling this recipe, but we're doing recipe plus half. So what you need to do is, after you drain your crab meat, you need to make sure it's kind of broke up some, and then you need to start adding your other ingredients. I'm going to put 2 eggs in instead of 1. It called for 1, but like I said, I've increased the recipe. And they asked for a tablespoon of lemon juice, so we're going to do about a tablespoon and a half of a tablespoon, which is usually 2 teaspoons. For breadcrumbs, we're going to use some pork rinds that I have that I crushed from a previous recipe. Let me get a measuring cup. Okay, so we're gonna need a half a cup plus, and you can use breadcrumbs, you can use pork rinds, or you can use panko breadcrumbs. We're trying to cut back on bread products, so that's a half. 1/2 measure plus half of a half, which would be 3/4 of a cup. It called for a 1/4 cup of green onion chopped. I'm just going to do 1/4 cup. I'm not going to add any more. I know that I'm increasing the recipe a little bit, but I don't want to get too oniony. That's a lot of onion. We're foregoing the red peppers that the recipe calls for. My family's not a fan, so I'm just going to leave those out. Okay. Kind of get this stirred up just a little bit. We need a teaspoon and a half of Worcestershire sauce. There's 1. We'll do a half. Pull that out. Next is going to be some garlic powder. It calls for a half a teaspoon. We're going to do 3/4. So there's a half. There's another 1/4. And last thing would be Old Bay seasoning, and it's optional, but I am going to add it. And we'll do just a full 1/4 of a teaspoon on it. Hopefully this is good. I don't know. Right now it does not look like it is moist enough. Mix all ingredients together until well combined, and then divide the mixture and form into 4 crab cakes, but we should have more than that. We should have about 6. Alright, I'll see you back in a second. Let me get my oil heated up. Make sure you have clean hands for this next one. This next little bit in the recipe. So our grease is hot. The person that did the recipe said that you can use ice cream scoops. I'm just going to make little patties. Squeeze it together. your grease is hot before you put it in. You could make really big ones, but I'm trying to stretch this recipe. You know, really big thick ones. But I'm trying to stretch the recipe, so. You're gonna be really careful with them because they're not wanting to stay together. And it should be just enough for this whole pan. Because 6 ounces is not much. I know usually when I make salmon patties, which this could probably be compared to, the cans are a lot bigger. These are just little small cans like tuna cans. So, not gonna get much out of them. This one will be kind of big. Okay. Fry those up. So to go along with our crab cakes, among other things, we're going to make some Red Lobster biscuits. This is the package that you get in the store. So I'm going to make those real quick. Alright, you stir together water, which is 3/4 cup of water, a 1/2 cup of cheddar cheese, and the pouch of biscuit mix that comes with it. So here's the biscuit mix. Okay, so here's our biscuit mix. Y'all know that I like to sift any kind of flour or dry ingredients like this. Just try to get some of these lumps out. Not necessary. I've done it a million times. We love this stuff. Probably way more than we should. That's why I only bought 1 box for this meal. So I usually put my cheese in next. It's a 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar. They tell you to put sharp. All I've got is medium because that's just what I buy. So anything that you have will be fine. So it's best to go ahead and kind of stir it through so it doesn't clump together once you add the water. Try to get, you know, get it coated just a little bit. Alright, 3/4 cup of water. And you just stir it together. And then I'll be getting it ready for the oven in just a second, and that'll be it. Okay, so I wanted to take a second and show you how these are going to look if you've never made them before. It's basically a drop biscuit. If you've ever heard of that, that's just, it's not formed into a circle. It's just dropped with a, you know, spoonful of dough. So you just stick it on there, just like that. And these are going to expand, so you need to leave enough room for them to expand. So I usually just do them in batches. Let's see if we can try to fit another one on here, another row. I usually don't grease the pan. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. Okay, so when your Red Lobster biscuits come out of the oven, you have to mix together this little packet of garlic herb blend and butter. So I'm gonna mix that together real quick. It's a half a cup of butter, which is half of a stick in this little packet. And you can either spoon it over the biscuits or brush it, either one. I don't have a brush, so I'm going to spoon it over. It's not wanting to combine, so it's going to take you a little bit of time to mess with it. Probably do it with a fork and get it to combine better. Alright, so let me get those out of the oven. Okay, so here they are. Hopefully you can see that. Alright, and you take the butter and you just drizzle over them. And this is probably what you always taste when you try them at the restaurant. This little bit of garlic butter on top. Okay. I'm gonna get my cooling rack out and get these transferred. And I will show you everything here in just a few minutes. Okay, y'all, this is the finished product. There's some crab cakes and some Red Lobster cheddar biscuits.